How's it going, everybody? I want to talk about some crazy shit. Not crazy shit, just weird shit. How about weird stuff? So if you like weird stuff, you can join in my conversation. And I'm going to talk about demons. I'm talk about my demons. Or I'm going to talk about talking about demons. And I'm going to mention demons because I like talking about them with other people. And I don't talk about very many things. But one of the things that happened to me at a young age is that I lost my mom. She was murdered in front of my eyes, and it was I was talking to a friend about this because he was getting mad at me about something because I got on his nerves. And the problem with telling that to people, it just sounds generally pretty shocking and pretty weird, and I have some stuff about it, of course, who doesn't, right? But I mean, it's always more awkward for the other person. It's kind of like, think about someone who doesn't have an arm or a prosthetic leg, or they're blind, or have a disability. It's almost always more awkward for the people around that person than it is the person telling it. And I bring this up because it kind of prefaces what I want to talk about, and that is demons, right? It's sort of our inner demons that kind of haunt us and make us feel bad and essentially give us problems. Because, how can I say this? We all have shit we're dealing with. We do. We have stuff that was just going on in our head, and, and they're very private, right? We keep it to ourselves, and we want to... We're afraid that if we share it with somebody else, that they're not going to like us, or they're not going to accept us, or we're going to be judged. And that's pretty true, Like, I mean, part of me almost always wants to say, I don't give a fuck about what you think. And the reality is, I do. The thing that I like to think about and talk about a lot is sort of that feeling of how do you tame that feeling? How do you tame that feeling of... Basically, that's the reason why I would say that, or why I don't give a fuck what you think, is basically sort of it in a way, which is kind of the irony of it, is when you say I don't give a fuck what you think, you're actually saying that you actually do care what they think, right? Because otherwise you wouldn't say it so loud and so mean, I don't know. That, to me, I feel like that's like on a whole different planet. See, I told you this is gonna get weird. This is like a whole different planet. Like when you say, I don't give a fuck about what you think. The reality is, here's what it comes down to, and what I'm trying to get at is that I like talking about demons, and that's our inner weird feelings about what makes us feel uncomfortable. And I like to talk about it, or write about it, or think about it, because I like to feel what that fucking gross feeling feels like, and I like to tame it. Because if you can kind of see that anger, sadness, depression, fear kind of rise up, you can try to squash it, but that's not how I don't think that's going to work. You're going to have to you tame it. You have to dance with it. And it's actually something I got from Seth Godin, who's like a kind of a business entrepreneur kind of guy, and about creatives. And you got to tame that feeling of anxiety, discomfort, because what's so funny about this, and what's so interesting to me, is that you fool yourself because you don't know you're feeling it. It's hard to realize that you're feeling uncomfortable, right? And every time I feel uncomfortable, or I try to anyway, I try to figure out why I feel uncomfortable, and then I like to see it, right? Like I was having a conversation with a friend, and he got really mad at me because I was being an asshole, and unfortunately, I guess I am an asshole, but I am kind of the story I'm telling myself, so this could all be bullshit too, so keep that in mind, is that I'm beginning to understand and feel that I'm learning to become my unforgiving self. And that is, actually I heard this from, I think something similar from John Romanello, if you know who he is, author of the Alpha Project, or Alpha 2.0. And he talk about like just being your unforgiving self, and that is basically, this is essentially why I don't really have a whole lot of friends. I guess maybe people can get to like me, but like, you know, if it's almost like if I want you, basically, like we all put up, this can go into another tangent, we all put up some sort of mask when we're around certain people. And I think the people that are even the closest to me, which is a very small amount of people, you know, the closest to me that know me the best, I'm very unfiltered, you know, and I like to do humor and jokes about people's sensitive subjects, and it's fucked up, right? Even mine, right? All my problems I like to make fun of because I like to turn uncomfortable shit funny, because it's just a way of dealing with it, you know. Like I told you earlier, like, you know, I just saw my mom get shot, you know, and it's, you know, you see this and you have these, you know, it's fairly traumatic, right? And you think about this, and I discount it quite a bit, and the reason why I discount it is because how else can you deal with it? You know, I can be sad, you know, I can be unhappy, or I can laugh about it, and I'm sort of just deciding to laugh about it. So the problem is with when I conversate with people, I can, I guess you can say in a way I can hear people's demons, right? I can hear your demons when I conversate with someone, and if I'm really close to you, I can hear your demons, and I can like just poke at it, you know. I can hear the flaws in your thinking, or I'm not, they're not necessarily, they're probably flaws, but I'm just guessing they're flaws, you know, and I'll poke at it, and then I'll like see, like one of my best friends, and this happens with my wife too, I'll say, why are you getting mad? Because I'll say, why are you getting mad? And it's, can you imagine you're saying to somebody, why are you getting mad, and they're not getting mad? How annoying that would be. I'm sure if someone did that to me, why are you getting upset? You know, it's very, because basically you're telling someone how they feel. It's annoying, you know, but it's I kind of figured out that's sort of like my protection mechanism. So when I feel that there's aggression around me, about especially people that I love, I want to sort of squash it really fast, subdue it, so that way I can get over it, or I don't know what you would call it. But going back, because I'm getting on a tangent here, because I'm not even sure what I'm talking about, is I like feeling that. I mean, I don't know if I like feeling it. I like examining it. You know, I'm a big, you know, that's kind of why when I talk about training, I always try to find a way to tie philosophy and business, because I really think it's all sort of related. You know, because I'm under the belief that most of us do not know why we do what we do. You know, we try to guess what we do, but we're right about half the time. You know, we're wrong most of the time, you know. So it's kind of like you think you're doing this because you want this, you know, like you want to be rich because of some reason. You think that's what you want, and that's not the reason why you want it, which is kind of weird, right? It's like it's a way of understanding self-doubt, because I have a lot of self-doubt. But see, the thing about my self-doubt is I like my self-doubt. You know what I mean? Like, I like it a lot, because I used to feel like, oh, I just wish I had more confidence. And you know what? I've learned to sort of dance with it and sort of feel that disgusting, I don't even, maybe it's not disgusting, it feels disgusting, but it's just gross. You know, you feel inadequate. You feel like you shouldn't feel this way. But really what it is being comfortable with failure. You know, I got this from Mark Manson. You know, he's one of my favorite bloggers and writers, wrote the book Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Being comfortable with failure, you know, and being okay with it, because, you know, life is going to suck sometime, you know, and being able to sort of like dance with this feeling, because I think too often, like what Mark Manson says, is we all try to be happy too often. We're just trying to be happy, and life is not always going to be happy, you know, and interesting life has lots of ups and downs. And I think that I have so much in my head, and so much, maybe you can call it trouble, you can call it anxiety, you can call it some fucked up shit, whatever you want to call it. I got stuff in my head that I'm essentially tinkering with, playing around with, and just enjoying my life. I'm enjoying tinkering with it. And sometimes I don't, because I can torture myself in my head. But I've sort of learned how to deal with this, what you would most consider a problem, because the reality is, most people want to eat junk food. Most people don't want to exercise. Most people don't want to work hard and suffer through the long days and hours of building a business or building an amazing life. And I kind of want to have an amazing life. I do want to have an amazing life. I want to struggle through all the cool things. I like the work, you know. Anyways, I think I end this video. I gotta go now. If you got a question, leave a comment. If you got a topic idea, leave it below. thanks for watching. I really, really appreciate you making it this far. There's only very few of you that ever make it this far. But what's so funny is like I get a video that gets like 50 views or 100 views, and I know there's like 2 or 3 people that get to the end, and it's kind of cool, you know. And instead of being like, oh man, I only got 50 views, I can just say, you know, why not just be grateful for the person that makes it to the end? So, you 1 or 2 people, I appreciate you, and I really do. Thanks for watching.